Rob, you've been there. Take us through, first of all, two things. What happened in Afghanistan, for those who don't know, and what is going on right now currently as we speak?
People make mistakes all the time, and a lot of successes are because of mistakes you made. You're learning from them. You can Monday morning quarterback anything. I personally think we should have pulled out mostly out of Afghanistan around 2004, 2005, because we kind of had it won. We hadn't heard of an improvised explosive device, roadside bombs yet, but bad decisions are made. They wanted to surge. They like people. There are guys on the ground like me were saying, we live in a house in Jalalabad, Afghanistan. We know our neighbors. We give the kids candy. We get kebabs at the stand in the middle of town, which is unheard of, especially today. We don't need a bunch of scared young Americans driving around up armored Hum vehicles, running people over just because they're here. Regardless of your intention, you'll be seen as an occupier. So that's the first mistake. We do need to keep a base, especially Jalalabad Airfield, which is was really nice. And Bagram, Bagram it's so fortified you can defend it forever, and you can have pilots out bombing caravans and back in time literally for karaoke night and green bean coffee. Like, that's what the place was like. Speed limits and paved roads. Keep those two open just for the cross-border op. We know Al-Qaeda is in Pakistan. They're not in Afghanistan. We came here to fight Al-Qaeda, not the Taliban, like it or not. Just keep these here. We can hit them with drones. People started getting mad about that too. Oh, you're killing them with drones. Yes. Sorry, we can't kill people nice enough for you. But, we stayed there. We did get bin Laden in 2011. And it did need to start being scaled back, which is happening. And an unfortunate truth is we were going to have to negotiate with the Taliban eventually. That's just the way that part of the country works. We tried to give them schools and democracy. They don't want it. They want their valleys. That's it. So we have to start that. You certainly do not drop the keys and leave overnight. Yeah. That's the problem. Complete chaos, because it's almost to the point where, okay, are you stupid or are you incompetent? It's one or the other. And if you're the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who's the highest ranking military officer, if you told him to pull out, you should be fired. If you told him not to pull out and he didn't listen, you should resign. Where we lived, and a lot of Americans, a lot of the coalition forces over there, if they screwed up this bad, they died, or they got fired. You don't just don't show up for the press brief because you're in the basement.
Yeah, and I think that's where, I think we all probably as Americans agree that it was time to get out of Afghanistan, but there's a way to do it. And that's what everyone's saying. Well, Trump was going to try to pull out. It's like, yeah, Trump negotiated with the Taliban because you had to be in the room. Joe Biden has not yet spoken to a world leader. It's been like 5 days. Another world leader, he's on vacation and checked out. Trump had conditions to the withdrawal. You heard Pompeo maybe on the news the other night, X, Y, Z. If those guys were coming out in these single roads that they've now blockaded coming into Kabul, Trump would have been droning the hell out of them.
Yeah.
Joe Biden, no conditions, no nothing. And again, he pulled out our military before he got rid of the civilians. There's a difference. You can be in agreement that it was time to get out.
Yes.
You can even be in agreement that some things could be, it's never going to be great and the Taliban would always be there. But you can also say the execution was ridiculous.